What is going on, guys? Kevin Cage here with another cryptocurrency update. We're going to be diving into some crypto news related to XRP, HBAR, Casper, and the entire space. Let's kick it off because yesterday my power was out, #island life, so I'm playing a little catch up. Elon Musk, first things first, tweeted the Latin letter H, which is also known as HBAR. And of course, he's very familiar with crypto. And please understand, this man knows the market. He knows payments. He was the co-founder of PayPal with Peter Thiel, who was also one of the first investors in Facebook. Back in the day, of course, Peter Thiel's fund also invested into the company Ripple. Okay? So Elon Musk, nearly 75 million followers on Twitter. Absolutely crazy. We also have Christian Hasker. He does marketing for Hedera, and I loved his interview a long time ago with King Solomon on YouTube. So, do you think that Elon Musk is referring to something else? Do you think he is trolling the Hedera community, or is he a fan of Hedera? If you do go to Hedera's website on hedera.com, and you can actually come to the top here and click HBAR and learn a little bit about the actual currency. Now, when we scroll down, we can look at the energy consumption. Of course, there's no competition when it comes to Bitcoin and Ether in terms of scalability and overall TPS, transactions per second, how fast it can send with finality, and the energy consumption is just levels beyond anything that is proof of work, okay? And keep in mind, there's already more transactions in total than there have ever been on the Bitcoin and Ethereum blockchain combined, because it's just that much more scalable, that much faster, just basic math. Because it's built on DAG technology. A DAG stands for a directed acyclic graph. It's much more scalable than a blockchain, which is typically just linear. And so you can see their native token, of course, HBAR. Very interesting. When you go to Wikipedia, you can see HBAR, H with a stroke, the Latin letter H with a doubled horizontal stroke. It also could stand for this mathematical symbol right here, reduced Planck's constant. So let me know your thoughts below, but funny enough, we also have HBAR, the cryptocurrency of the company Hedera hash graph. Next up, we have some good news with Casper and Ledger. I know this has been in development for a while. I know we've been talking about it for a while, but it looks like they are officially live. So now you can deposit your Casper and store your Casper in a Ledger crypto wallet, which is cold storage, meaning it is entirely offline and secure, provided that you protect your private keys or those passphrases, whether it's 12 words or 24 words. Never, under any circumstance, give those 12 to 24 words to anybody. If they have those 12 to 24 words, if they get a screenshot of those words, they can access your crypto. That is your password. Those are your secret keys. Keep those babies safe. For anybody that wants to better understand how to use a Ledger crypto wallet or even just to use the application in itself, I did make a video last, I believe, July, so I just retweeted it today. Me buying API 3 during this Ledger demo through Paraswap last summer. So I have the video tutorial right here and also the link to the crypto wallet. We also have Casper and API 3 available. Okay, so now to get into the good stuff. So this will apply to the XRP price chart, XLM price chart, even Litecoin, LTC, specifically any alts that have been here for more than one cycle. Okay, so notice XRP's price at $3.30 right here, and this is on Bitstamp. The highest exchange did reach $3.84. This is before XRP was really on many exchanges, before on-demand liquidity was even a live product. All we knew was that banks back in the day, starting in like 2015, were trialing XRP. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that. Real banks have tested XRP, okay? Respank, ATB, like large institutions. So now looking at Bitcoin's price on Bitstamp as well, we can look at the high of Bitcoin during 2013. We'll look at the high of XRP during 2013. And looking at this setup, and then of course the asset exploding. Now, Bitcoin and many other alts have created a new high compared to their 2017-2018 high. Let's just call it 20K per Bitcoin. So now when we plot a Fibonacci retracement, Bitcoin, Ether, and a variety of alts have in fact surpassed this level and reached the golden extensions. Kevin, how are you bullish on XRP? I am bullish long-term on assets that are still well below their all-time high price. So let's turn the lights on and let's kind of look at some of these structures. So first things first, with the XRP price chart, back in the day looking at all the price history, we have this accumulation phase. And a little known fact for a lot of maximalists that are not aware that XRP was one of the best altcoin performers in crypto history during this period. I'm talking the 2017 multiple bull runs, really two big bullish cycles, or you could say this is just one big super cycle, okay? Now, Bitcoin accumulation, absolutely exploding, being one of the best performing assets in history long-term. Now, I want to emphasize that we have created a new high from this level, reaching these golden extensions. Doing a double top at the 3618, some assets actually have gone above and beyond to a 34 extension, such as Matic, aka Polygon, and a variety of other alts. So first things first with Bitcoin, from the high to the low, if you just had a macro thesis and you're capable to invest and hold for 3 to 5 years, if you simply just dollar cost averaged from this level anytime it was below the 236, your average buy-in price or your average entry would still be below $7,000 per Bitcoin. And today, it's funny because even from that level, we're still sitting up about 5x because it's 400% increase plus initial investment. That's a 5x return in just a few years, and people are still complaining. Anybody that's complaining might be new to the market, and they simply just have to be in this market for a few years. It does not come quick, but remember, time in the market wins. And even if XRP takes a little bit but still performs and reaches these levels, that is an insane return. And please recall that this market at under 2 trillion today is still projected to reach 50 trill, 100 trill someday, according to some of the top analysts. I'm going to go over a Wells Fargo document today because I just remembered it, talking about the growth of crypto for anybody that has doubt. Now, I'm not going all in on any assets at these levels. I'm simply waiting and watching. I have my long-term holds. I'm not going to be selling and trying to buy back lower if we have some type of black swan or crash. I've already done that before with my trading bags for the past several years. I'm sitting comfy, just earning a little yield on my assets, twiddling my thumbs and waiting. Now for my trading bag, that's a different story. But I just want to emphasize, this is a waiting game. I've seen some of my buddies talk about this structure being this fractal, and we actually have a huge crash coming for XRP. To each their own, it's entirely possible. I can't rule anything out, but I would imagine that that SEC lawsuit crashed when we closed the gap at 1776. Funny enough, it was 0.1776 where the gap was for XRP. Just crazy coincidences. And of course, today is 2/22/2022, so crazy. But nonetheless, looking at these structures, you can apply this to XLM, Litecoin, anything. Bottom line, I would just recommend looking at the structure. When in doubt, zoom out. Is there anything out of the ordinary? If you're going to lose sleep, if it's going to cause unnecessary stress, if an asset crashes another 50% in this market, I would recommend you leave crypto and maybe just exit with what you have. And that's not financial advice. For me, I'm looking at everything with a long-term time horizon. If it happens tomorrow, even better. And please recall with the QNT price chart, we have a trend line. We had the first wick back in the day when QNT was, $3-4, another wick, and then another wick right here. So we had an obvious trend forming. If you simply just drew this trend line on the top of this parallel channel, this ascending channel, you would have accurately, almost to an exact dollar amount, called the most recent top for QNT at over $400. This is why I say, when in doubt, zoom out. With the Fear and Greed Index, we are still in extreme fear, and please stick around, guys, because I do want to go over this Wells Fargo document talking about crypto growth in the future. And my point is that we've been in extreme fear or fear for months. This is highly, highly unusual for the cryptocurrency market, and we're getting ever closer to some form of retracement, or at least I hope so. Now I want to go over blockchain backers fractal. This is absolutely fascinating, and notice this has been following this structure for 5.5 months. Now, is it possible that it could deviate and this is right when it tricks us? Absolutely. But remember, this is another confluence to what he's tracking, and I love this type of data. So this is a bear market structure for Bitcoin, I believe, showing a backtest on the trend line. And we're going to watch in the coming week, I'd imagine, if this does in fact follow suit. Today is the 22nd, so we're going to see what happens. He posted this back on the 20th, and I believe he's been showing this for a long time at this point. And what does he still see, even though he believes that Bitcoin is in a bear market? Per the data, we are hoping for a retracement, and this is where I would expect alts to get a nice bounce. And then if you think we're going to zero, you can get out and exit. But for me, if we get that retracement of Bitcoin going over 50K, that's when I'm going to be taking some profit as much as possible with a variety of alts, provided they pop off, and be looking at their BTC pairs as well. So please refer to me being bullish on assets that are well below their all-time high, not assets that have gone up 400x in the last 2 years. That's a little too risky for me, and I'll consider buying back if they have really sound technology and I don't see a better opportunity in the market. But for now, extremely focused on Casper and API3 and a few other alts, but those are smaller market cap. Next up, we've shared by Credible Crypto, a student of the cycle, and I like that he was calling this since April 2020. Very powerful. Now, what is this? This is the epitome of me saying, when in doubt, zoom out. What do we see? This is the Bitcoin price chart dating back to 2011, and this is a logarithmic growth curve. This is something that I'm looking at from a macro perspective for crypto, and this is why I don't freak out when there's different market moves. First off, from the peak of this cycle to the next peak, that was approximately 900 days. The next cycle from this peak to the next market top was 1,400, almost 1,500 days. Now, from this peak approximately to the next peak, and assuming that each cycle gets longer, per this data that we have for nearly a decade, we'd assume this cycle goes longer, correct? So if last cycle peak to peak was 1,477 days, we'd assume that this one will be a bit longer. Now, we also have diminishing returns in the Bitcoin price chart. Now, I'm not bashing Bitcoin, but the opportunity for life-changing wealth in Bitcoin is gone, in my opinion, and for my time horizon, not financial advice. Now, notice, from the bottom, the trough down here, to the top, we can measure a gain of 55,000%. From the trough right here to the peak, it goes to 12,000%, so 55,000 to 12,000, so it's diminishing returns. Now, following this long curve and still measuring from the trough or the bottom during March 2020, we'd be looking at maybe a 4,000 to 5,000% return if we ever got that six-figure Bitcoin. Now, I know people are laughing and saying that will never happen. Anything's possible, and I just keep an open mind in this market. Could Bitcoin crash and just never come back? Yes, but could it also go on another rally as institutions are continuing to hold it and adding it to their books? Yes. So never say never. Now remember, this is posted in April, and then we had the Bitcoin halving in May 2020. Let's look at this. So notice that he has right here and calling for this nice rally. So, I mean, he was saying this years ago in 2020, talking about we can expect the high of this next cycle. It will not be met until after 2022, and most likely sometime after 2023, using these metrics, calling this cycle to last 1,918 days. Super interesting. Now, I know he is posting more up-to-date information, so please check that and see his thoughts today, but I just love looking at this type of analysis. And just like my ascending channels and my overall trends, this long growth curve has always played out extremely well. Remember, he was calling it in April 2020. What happened? We had the Bitcoin halving, cutting the block rewards in half, and then boom, we sent. Powerful stuff. And another cool thing was blockchain backer also drawing a fib retracement on the Bitcoin price chart, was calling, since like even the low prices of Bitcoin, we're talking sub $5,000, calling it for a top around 72K, and we got damn close. So you have to give credit where it's due. And I do think we are still early to this crypto market. We have officials in Congress, even in the United States, calling Bitcoin, they call it Bitcoin or Bitcom. So I believe we're still early in this asset class, and I do believe that the future is going to be built on a lot of alts or alternative coins because they have protocols, and the value will be in the protocol. Instead of owning a share or a piece of a company like Apple, and if it does well and is very profitable, you can get some dividends. That's cool in theory, but guys, let's go to Web3. We can own a piece of the protocol, and when businesses or humans build applications on these protocols, and every single transaction, email, text, or anything is processed, per the tokenomics, that adds demand to the asset and pushes price up. To me, this is just 1,000 times much more powerful and makes more sense. This flips the entire model of stock investing on its head. So keep an eye on the XRP price chart versus the Bitcoin price chart. I'm telling you right now, if we crash, what am I doing? I'm going to buy. I'm going to be holding even if some assets are in drawdown. Because guess what? I still took profits this year in a variety of alts. And if we do in fact send and finally create a high, which is delayed, because XRP is notorious for being one of the last movers in the market based off of market data, then I'll consider staggering sells out in some of my alts at a few take profit targets. And my big rule of thumb, since I missed out and showed you $20 million missed on Terra Luna, is I'm going to hold 25% of my bags in certain alts that I believe in forever. Now, I do have some XRP locked up via escrow, of course, in the Sum wallet, so I won't actually get certain parts of my bag until like 2025, and that's just for fun, playing with the app functionality. Not like a crazy amount, but I always like setting little nest eggs. Planting seeds, watering them, set and forget, come back to a tree. Okay, we're gonna finish up with this. This is the must-see, shared by Matthew Liny. Wells Fargo posted this February 2022, so this month, titled Cryptocurrencies Too Early or Too Late. Enjoy the ride, this is just the beginning. Let's check this out. Cryptocurrencies too early or too late. Cryptocurrency users are growing globally and rapidly off a low base. Check. Crypto appears to be near a hyper-adoption phase, similar to that of the internet during the mid to late 1990s. And this is all I do all day, is I'm talking to gentlemen that experienced the dot-com bubble firsthand, and they're showing me all the parallels. Now, of course, Wells Fargo, a global institution, has to be careful with what they say, and this is from their global investment strategy team. We believe that cryptos are viable investments today, even though they remain in the early stages of their investment evolution. We recommend professionally managed private placements for now, as the investment landscape is still maturing. Next, now this is what you have to see and understand. This whole little chart right here shows the market size of different asset classes in the trillions. Crypto today is below a $2 trillion market capitalization or market size. The largest market cap company in the S&P 500 index is $3 trillion. We have single companies that are larger than the entire cryptocurrency market, and people still say that we're not early. We have gold at nearly a $12 trillion market, and the global stock market nearly $120 trillion. And then bonds don't even get me started. Massive, massive opportunity when crypto actually serves as the bedrock for all of this, because it's the actual protocol to distribute it, to make it more trustworthy, to make it more automated via smart contracts. To me, this is a no-brainer. Question is, which crypto assets will survive? Next, which of them will get the highest level of adoption, and how high? And now this is what I love to see. So internet usage history versus crypto users. So we have internet users versus crypto users. And now I know that this chart could be manipulated to be very biased, but nonetheless, I love the look of this. Of course, crypto right here, these dashed lines, you can see the growth of internet users from 93 all the way to 2021. If these parallels ring true, this is going to be insane. Now, this is also very powerful. This is the technology S-curve. Now, you can see once it starts leveling out, there's less opportunity. Where's crypto? Well, it's a new asset class. We're still just getting started. Most of these asset classes have been around, or, not even asset classes, technology industries, I should say, have been around for decades. You can see electricity levels out. You can see that radio leveled out, of course. We can see that even cell phones are starting to level out. But who is the youngest? Who has the most upside potential for asymmetric returns? Crypto. Now, of course, with the stock market, making 10%, 20%, or even real estate at an all-time high. Real estate's here to stay. But I still want to diversify a part of my net worth into asymmetric returns, where instead of putting $1,000 in and you make $200 with profit or 20%, I'd much rather have the potential to scatter some nest eggs of 1K and turn it into $100,000. The power of cryptocurrency is that it allows everyday people that are not accredited investors or are not millionaires yet to be venture capitalists. That is what I love. This is the opportunity and a chance for many people to change their lives. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please share this with a friend. If you found it helpful, be sure to like, subscribe. All links can be found in the video description. And until next time.